Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear
Okay,
you.
okay. Yeah, like I usually say, you see, I feel that the foundation, the foundational revelation that everybody needs to get is this thing you taught us, the I consciousness, the consciousness of the I as the Christ. You see, there's something very unique, very profound that the Bible spoke about that most of the times we overlook. The Bible says something in the book of Colossians, chapter 3. First of all, Colossians chapter 1, verse 26, 27. It says, for there's a sacred mystery that has been hidden from angels and other high dimensional beings long before the foundations of the earth was laid. You see, and this mystery is the fact that Christ is permanently in man. And that this mystery is being revealed in these last days. And the revelation of this mystery is that Christ in man is the hope of glory. That's the glory for the earth and the glory for other civilization. Then in the same Corinthians, in the same Colossians chapter 3, from verse 1 to 3, it says, if it be that you resurrected with Christ, that keep your focus on the resurrected life of Christ and keep your focus in the glory where the activities of Christ are. He said, for that is where you're seated with Christ. Then he continued, and in verse 3 he said, when Christ, who is your real life, for Christ is your real life. And the word real life there means your real identity. So Christ is our original and our real identity. He said, when Christ, who is your real life or real identity, is revealed, you shall become a revelation to the world. That is, the real you will be revealed. That which is trapped within you will be revealed to the entire universe. So the truth is this: we must consciously, like I usually tell people, now I don't say things to mollycoddle the ego of people, and I'm not ashamed to admit it when I learn something from people. The truth is, Apostle Salim, you have been a great blessing. Like you have given me the courage. It's just like I was trying to swim in deep waters, but I was being careful because I felt there were sharks. But you gave me the courage not only to contend with sharks, but to go for whales and to go to the depths where the whales are. You understand? Like I said, there are certain things we hear that will not make sense. The truth is that if it makes sense to you, then it's not of God. God will not tell you anything that will make sense to you. The light of God vibrates at a higher frequency that your carnal sense and your carnal mind cannot comprehend it. You must, that's what the Bible says about that the carnal mind cannot appreciate the things of the spirit. The things of the spirit can be only appreciated spirit to spirit, just like Dr. Sheila was saying previously. To be carnally minded is death, to be spiritually minded is life. So let's embrace this truth in totality. Let's practice this truth. And just like our sister Carol was saying initially, you see, we must value this truth to such a point that we are willing to pay any price to experience it. If it's just a mere information in our head, I'm telling you, a time will come, we'll begin to doubt it and we'll run away from it. But when it becomes an experience, wow, it's going to change us and the world is going to change. Thank you very much.
Brother Kamau. Brother Kamau.
Yes, brother, I'm here. Um, Thank you again so much. Keep going in and out. My headset keep dying on me. But it's very interesting conversation. And like the good brother there, Bishop, is saying, it's very important to understand or to be aware. Or like, Brother Salim was saying, every moment is necessary to be in the present, in the moment, or to be aware, or to be born again every moment. I think, well, traditionally we have been misled to believe is that we're supposed to just cast our burdens or just leave everything to God or to Jesus Christ, in a sense, it is so. You're not supposed to worry, brother. You're not supposed to really carry uh, things that happened previously or worry about things that's going to happen in the future, right? And as we know, if it becomes chronic, if you're worried about things that happens uh, in the past, uh, in a sense, you get depressed. Or if you're worried about things that's going in the future, in a sense, you are anxious. Again, however, it's important to be aware, to know, like Brother Salim was saying, uh, to be able to do like the healing he's talking about, or to be able to do some of the things that people might think they are magical or they are not capable or able to do. It's important to be aware and to be in the know, in the present. Again, sometimes it might take a little bit of time to kind of work on yourself to get to the point, because again, what's happening or what have happened to us is we are so out of balance with the bodies that we have, right? Whether it's our physical body, mental bodies, emotional bodies, spiritual bodies, they are so out of balance that we are not able to even process life as it is. Again, like Brother Salim there was mentioning about diseases, and he is so right that all diseases are just the imbalance of these bodies, right? Whether you are out of balance physically, meaning that you're probably consuming things that are not conducive to your health, or you're not moving your body as you're supposed to, and then you are mentally dealing with things that are causing uh, you know you to be restricted, because again, your mind is very powerful, and whatever you put in it, you become that, or rather, you give signals to your body with your mind, to let it know, hey, this is what's going on. And like Queen Dr. Sheila there was saying, our body does not know if you're joking or if you're not sure. If whatever it is you put in the mind, it sends signals to the body that, hey, that's what it is. If you're thinking I'm sick or I'm getting sick, or if you're constantly talking about I'm getting sick, or like Brother Salim give an example, say, hey, you're dealing with your children and you're saying, hey, these children are going to kill me. Or you hear people say all the time, this person is going to be the end of me, or this person is making me sick, or whatever. Whatever it is that you are thinking of, then you are saying it, you are sending these signals to your body. And sometimes they might not happen right away, but accumulation of these things definitely causes issues. Again, with the mind, we know that the mind is so powerful that it's capable of healing any disease. Again, we have even seen it scientifically, have been proven with things like the placebo effect, right? And again, you have to make sure that the balances of your bodies are not off. And this is what actually causes, things like diseases. They're out of balance. If you're out of balance, whether again is physically or mentally, again with the thoughts, or emotionally, right? One thing, me personally, I'm an herbalist and I help people with the morbid matter, or the physical matter. And one thing that we have seen, that anybody who had a chronic disease, and it's interesting that Brother Salim there was talking about eyesight, uh, 99% of them are connected to your colon, right? Now, your colon has more neurons than your brain, right? So it's like your colon is a bigger brain than your brain. That's why I even have gut feeling. When somebody say you have a gut feeling about something, uh, guys, hold on 1 second.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I was
Okay.
going through something real quick, but again, your gut is has more neurons than your brain, so your gut is a bigger brain than the brain itself. Now, again, as I was saying, 99% of the diseases are attributed or come out of your colon, come out of your gut, right? If your gut is not functioning properly, it is going to cause 99% of the diseases that we know, including eyesight.
In 2 miles,
Most people eyesight are straight connected
Boston Heights, Akron.
to your colon. And again, once you open you find that you remove again 99% of diseases, including things like eyesight. Again, your colon works in like hand in hand with your emotions, right? If you're fearful or if you're afraid or if you have negative emotion, they tend to contract you, right? Which tend to constipate you, right? Your colon doesn't function properly. If you're having negative emotions, you're having fears, you're having doubts, all these emotions that contract, right? And so when it contracts, it causes constipation. When this system is constipated, again, it causes most of the diseases that we know. And as a matter of fact, if somebody comes to me today and say, "Hey, I need your help with my health," the first place that I go to is the colon. And most people will tell you, again, if they had a chronic issue, there's two things that
In half
usually
a mile, use the left 2 lanes to take exit
they've
18A
been
for
dealing with
Ohio
for
8
quite
South
some
for
time.
Boston Heights, Akron.
One of them is the colon, constipation and things of that nature, and stress, right? You combine those two, and I guarantee you that's where most of the diseases start from.
Use the left
So
2 lanes
again,
to
as you
take
can
exit
see,
18A.
it's all connected. Your body is connected, and it's necessary to open it up. And
Continue on
once you
Ohio 8
open
South
it
for
up,
19 miles.
nothing can affect you. Even the things from outside, no matter what they are. I don't care if they're viruses or they're germs or whatever you want to call them, right? Nothing can affect you as long as your bodies are balanced or your insides is balanced. But again, yes, it's very interesting to observe that this is so. And again, once you line up or you get aligned with those bodies, your physical, again, with consuming things that are not gonna constrict you or restrict you, your emotions, you're balanced out, your thoughts are balanced out, your energy is definitely balanced out. And then again, you're working on your spiritual aspect of life. Again, this is the side where you're connected to creation, to the creator, understanding what that means, and being proactive, being aware, constantly being aware, being in the moment, being in present, being uh, uh, in in a good sense where you are capable, you are responsible, you are able to respond to whatever is happening, and you're not just uh, you know throwing it aside or pushing it aside, sweeping it under the rug, and then it pile up. Again, we know that love expands, right? So the more you vibrate with a loving vibration, the more you expand those bodies. Fear, right, kind of constrict or restrict you. So if you are living in a fearful state, a worry state, then you are restricted. And again, this is going to restrict those bodies, and again, they cause all issues. And again, I'm confident to say that this will actually cause 100% of your issues. Is the restriction. Again, restriction can be in different forms, whether it's physically, whatever you're consuming, or emotionally, you know, things like stress and things like anger, things like fear, things like doubt. All those are restricting emotions, which restricts you. And again, as Brother Salim there was telling us, things like high blood pressure. That's all it is. It's the restriction of the blood, right? Going through your body. You got things that are restricting it, whether these things are physically or these things are emotionally, right? You also know even yourself, you can kind of, you have experienced this when you are afraid, you tend to breathe, in shallow breaths, like you are restricted. You are not fully open, right? If you breathe deeply, right, no matter what was happening there, you feel relaxed, right? Just taking deep breaths by themselves are making you feel relaxed. So again, the more you open and expand, the more you are able to expand, right? And you're also being able to be well, right? And the more you restrict yourself, the more you are having issues. And again, these issues are all connected. Your body is connected with all those dimensions of life that we are talking about. And it's important. It's very important to be proactive and to keep working on them till they are balanced out. And then once they are balanced out, they are like Brother Salim there is telling us, you get to a level that all you have to do is, maintain them or be in the know, right? Like he was saying, even, when you are learning to drive a car, the first time you're you sit behind the wheel, you might even be intimidated, or you might be thinking, "Man, I'm not able to do this." But the more practice you put into it, me personally, what I have found is the more practice I put into it, the better, or the more growth that I see. And again, it becomes a very beautiful journey once you start experiencing some results, and once you start being confident, once you start gaining that confidence, it becomes just something that is uh, fluid, right? It flows, right? You find that nothing is bothering you. You are always in a bliss, right? You're feeling good, right? You are able to tackle anything. You are responsible. You are able to respond. You have the ability to respond to anything, no matter what it is, right? Again, in life, uh, creation is cycles, right? They go in cycles, right? So you're gonna have cycles of all types, right? Sometimes you're gonna be up in the high side, sometimes you're gonna be in the low side. But once you align yourself, or you are in a good balance, you are able to ride the waves. And again, these cycles might even be happening just in the universe. Something might be happening in the universe, uh, and because we are connected to the universe, is definitely going to affect us, right? But most people don't understand that, don't realize that, and once these things they start happening and you feel like you're off balance, then you see people are having a lot of issues. Like right now, we know is a month. They say May is the mental health month, or the awareness of the mental health. And we also know that we have seen recently the increase of people now being able to handle life. We have seen people increasingly being suicidal. We have seen people increasingly killing each other, whether it's their spouses, their children, doing heinous crimes that makes you wonder, like, wow, what is really going on? A lot of people are not able to, experience life to the fullest because, again, they have been fed or they have been programmed a lie, and now because the lie is being exposed, they really don't know how to process that. Or again, because they are out of balance, they react in a violent way, right? They are not able to cope with whatever it is that they're dealing with in life. So it's very important. It's very important to kind of get these systems aligned. And again, there, as you guys heard Brother Salim talk about me, when I met him personally, I was really in one of my low points. And one of the systems or one of the aspects of my life that was way out of balance was my spiritual aspect because I was really in the dark. I didn't know what, I mean, I had so many questions, but I didn't know how to really approach them. I didn't have really any spiritual foundation to speak of because I was like, no, religion is not for me. But I don't know what's for me. I'm looking at everything. It's not making sense to me. Nothing was making sense. So I was not doing anything with it. And every time I tried to kind of focus on it, it became
Are you there, brother? Come on.
fine.
Brother, come on.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Can hear you
Oh yeah.
now.
Okay. Yeah. Another phone was coming in, so I guess I get disconnected. But what I was saying is I was experiencing a wall right in front of me, and I could feel there was definitely something on the other side, and I could not access the other side for nothing. It felt like, you know, there was a brick wall right in front of me, and I was not able to see the other side or get to the other side, but I could feel there was so much more on the other side. Um, but again, as I started really looking into it, meditating, again, in the beginning when I meditated, it was very confusing because, I mean, it's like I could feel everybody's thoughts, like they was coming at me like a ton of bricks. I was not able to really focus. Then after a while doing it, it definitely started opening up and I started experiencing the growth, right? Then sometimes it'll go back and it'll feel like I'm not growing at all, or sometimes I feel like I'm not even able to meditate sometimes, right? I go back. So it's like I'll be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. However, again, one thing I can really say is I've definitely seen the growth from that point when I started to now to be able even to experience life itself. I'm experiencing life itself in a different way. I was in a lot of pain. I mean, again, I've really worked on myself, whether it's physically, whether with diet and everything else, but I was still dealing with a lot of pain on my lower back. And I could not really tell what was going on. I knew at some point it would be connected with my colon to open up, but it got to a point that that wasn't working anymore. So, and it felt like there was energy that was talking or that was kind of stuck there, right? And now I can feel the shift. I can feel it opening up. It's first and foremost, from the first time I spoke to Salim, I mean, but after speaking to him, meditating with him and Sheila, it was like 80% uh, change, right? I feel 80% better, right? And then from that point on, I can definitely feel uh, the change constantly. moving, constantly able to, I'm constantly able to eliminate the pain. Uh, and I'm telling you, that was one of the things that had really bothered me for a while there. And again, that was my knew that was really out of balance. Was my aspect of myself, and I'm blame here because he has really helped me in a way that I felt that it made sense because most people you go to, you talk to, they're selling you something or they're telling you something that they probably have no experience. And personally, I like to experience one way that growth is to be able to experience it myself. And I have really there progress, but it's very important and again, sometimes if you're ready, some things might not be revealed to you, like Brother Salim there was saying. It's not a joke. It's not something to take lightly, right? It can be a lot of power that can be misused, right? So uh, sometimes things might not happen to one person, or one person might be able or capable to do things that the other one is not, and it just means that that person is not ready yet to be able to possess that type of ability. Because again, some of these abilities can be very powerful, and again, we have seen people misuse them. And so I think it's important, and uh, the creator, right, or the universe, uh, make sure that before somebody can possess the ability that they are requesting, or they need, they are responsible, or they are able to possess it or right? But it's a beautiful journey, yo, and I'm excited to be in it.
My brother, thank you very much, Brother Kamau. If there is someone who has motivated me in this work, I told you last time that you might think that when I went to these guys, I was broken. But always it is a two-way traffic, because when you came in, you challenged me. Because for you, it was something of one day, just the very first day, and you were able to, like, there was an 80% of change the same day, the first day we spoke with you. And we continue speaking with you. And actually, I remember the other day, Kamau, this thing which is called the last time I was talking to you, then I was teaching you on how to mix the light from above, from the universe, and mixing the love from the earth at the center of the heart. And the funniest thing is, everyone could not experience that. But while I was sharing with you, it was like you are practicing it, and you experienced there, and I experienced it. And that is what the macabre is, Brother Kamau. What you experienced the other time, that is what the macabre is. And actually, I had not done research on the macabre, but this practice, I learned it from somewhere, and I tried myself, only to come to realize that that is how you activate the macabre. So yours was activated that day. The mind, this is what happened. Let me tell you a story. When I tell people to seek God, yeah, when you are seeking for God, please remove all your expectations. People, you want to be one with God. God is eternal. Everything is within God. Everything. The reason why Jesus said that you seek first the kingdom of God, then all these things will be chasing you and following you. It's because everything is within God. When you seek God, you have everything. For me, my work has been easy because I told you many, like 10 years, I worked as a lone ranger without anyone to guide me, without having a group. I worked alone. And mine was expecting, I didn't have expectations. I wanted to experience this God. The mystery. This guy who is too slippery because everywhere I sought for him, could not find him. Then I was asking myself, is this guy alive? You know, there are things people, they take for granted. If it was not for my asking questions, I'll not be at this level. Because I used to ask, even when I was alone. I used to ask, like I'm asking, like I didn't know, like I was really talking to God, because I will sit alone and I will just, like, sometimes I'm seated and I will just say, if you are still alive, God, if you are still alive, just give me a sign. Or if you exist, because so far, so bad. I've not found you anywhere. If just give me a sign, I don't want anything, give me a sign. And that day, my first meditation, which I took 8 hours, I asked God, I told God, I've been asking for a sign, you have never given me. But today, these things, it's not a made up story, it is true. I say literally to God, if today I am here, until you show up, I am here. And it was that. It was that. When the experience happened, I started telling people, when you say the presence of God is here, you are always joking, because you do not know what the presence of God is. Because the presence of God is something else. These two words, something else, underline and put them in capital letter. It is something. This is the thing. It is something else. It happened, and it is asking questions. Because even me, if you go and read my post, there is even my earlier post when I was troubled, I just asking in my post, like, God, you better give me a sign, or I give up and hang up the boots. My earlier posts, if you read them, you will know that this guy is just crazy. Was just crazy that time. Because I will ask everything. For me, people will say asking God cannot be asked questions. I asked him all the questions I can ask. All the questions. And even today, if I want to ask God anything, I will ask. And there will be no judgment. The reason why we are not experiencing God, because we are not even supposed even to ask the sensitive questions to God. Because God cannot be questioned. Like you are kids. You have kids. They ask you the right questions. They do not have the right to ask the right questions. So, if you want to experience this walk, if you want to experience God, please, God is not a jackpot. Today I told Sheila, God has got nothing else to give to anyone. Then God has got nothing, even his pockets. If he shows up, his pockets are also torn, nothing to give. The seventh day, in the sixth day after creation, the seventh day he rested. But before resting, God does not create things halfway. Before God rested, he had finished everything. This planet is self-contained with everything which you know, which this planet needs. With everything, God gave everything. He has nothing. If you fast 40 days asking for something from God, bad news, bad news. He has nothing to give. He has given it all. He gave everything, gave you plus his spirit, so that he can be with you, commune with you, be with you in each and every present moment. And this is what he did. He gave you dominion and power. But what did humanity become? It became dumb. With the power vested upon them, they became dumb. When that first time I had the experience of God, my life turned around, and I am that guy, whom even my closest people, I'll just have experiences, but because they are religious, they won't understand me, I will keep these experiences to myself. And as I will walk, and I will always, sometimes I will see people and I will be laughing at people. People will think, why is this guy laughing at us? Because that moment, there was a moment it reached, I saw, like, when I got out of the house, everyone was dumb. Like, wake up. What the fuck are you doing, guys? Wake up, dumb people, zombies. We have to seek God in truth and in spirit. In spirit is to be one with God. Seek God in oneness. This is the truth. There is only one truth in the universe. This truth is love. You got to seek God with love. You have to seek God with this, and the true essence of love is that true love expects nothing in return. People, God expects nothing from you. Let me tell you one thing. God expects nothing from you. He put you here to learn this whole process of creation because ye are gods. He expects nothing. He expects performance. He's not expecting your type. He's not expecting your worships. He's not expecting your praises. Praises for what? God is not a politician. There's no competitor to God. He doesn't need any praises. Praises, those who need them are our politicians. God does not need your offerings and even your tithe. Is there anything which God lacks? Please. You say God wants to be worshipped. He lacks worship. God is worshipped by himself. You say he needs praises. Praises God, that praises is God by itself. Everything is God. God is above everything because everything is God. God lacks nothing because everything is God. God, you want your tithe. He doesn't need even your shilling, because that tithe itself is God by itself. That one is God. What does he need? Why could he need something which is already part of himself? Because everything is God. Nothing exists outside of God. Meaning that God is the abundance, totality of the abundance of all that is. You say God needs your praises, needs your worship. This is what God needs. And this is why he created. God wants you to be in him and him in you. God wants to work with you. When God created, he created out of a need, and this need was to have awareness of himself. Awareness only comes when there is another one or any other one who is of your likeness and of your image, or your image and of your likeness. Then you will see the reflection of who you are in awareness from that which is your other self of your image and likeness. That's why God created, to become self-aware. He doesn't need. Let me tell you one thing. Hey, how dumb can... No, I always say this and I repeat. When you dump God, God dumps you back. People, we dump God to an extent that God, like God, he can just be... If someone among us right now in this meeting, if right now God allocates you a place in a universe and tells you go and create beings, go and create beings, are you going to create zombies just to sing for you and praise you? They are praising you for what? And there's no one who is above you. Actually, let me tell you one thing. I am human. Let me stick on my perspective as a human, as a male human. When God give me that universe to go and create my own creation, any man, any male, this is what they are going to do. One galaxy alone, it will be a galaxy of women. Another galaxy, it will be a galaxy of where they can go, where a galaxy of boys going to have fun. Now we can go take the boys from other galaxy and take them to the other galaxy of girls and have fun there. And just to enjoy. Me as human, I will do that. I will not create people just to come and bow to me. For what? And we dump God to be that he just creates billions and billions of planets, of beings, just to kneel down and bow to him and to praise him like there is another competitor, that you are the only one. Yote yawezekana bila those political songs. Yeah, you are the one. No, that is not what God is. That is, I'm telling you people, if you want to experience God, go above all perspectives you have about God. When they say God is infinite, have an open mind that no. That is not the end. God is above that. That which has not attracted any definition or descriptions. Even that which has not attained definition and description, God is even above that. Just be high. When you be high, you trigger the high. You come to the realization. You become to the realization. What you realize, it realizes you back, because you have given attention to it. It gives you back attention. When you move to the higher realms, which are above all definitions and descriptions, then you trigger those realms which have never, even the angelic beings have never reached. because you have realized that, wow, God is even above infinite. Humanity has stuck to the position that God is an infinite God. You are above that. Even that above that, God is above that. Then you give realization to that. Then that gives realization to you. It knows that just realize that this has realized that we realize Him, and that is connection. You becoming to have higher awareness, higher perspectives. When you dump God, God dumps you back. When you lock God to that level, that this is the level of God I want to experience, the God of my religious book, that is what you are going to experience. This one, if you can take it, take it. I'm telling you. That is the amount of God you are going to experience. Where you place God is where God stays, and that is the amount of God you are going to experience, people. That is the amount of God you are going to experience. You lock God in gates of a place of worship. That is the amount of God you are going to experience. You, when immediately go into those gates, you experience God. But immediately you are outside of the gates, shit breaks loose. And that is what many believers experience. People will go to church and they will feel the experience of God. But immediately they are out of church, the bliss is gone. Do you know why the bliss is gone? It's because they took God and put Him in buildings. And that is where God always stays and waits for them every Sunday and Friday. You have to have an open mind, because if God is ever knowing, that mind is open. People, it takes a God to identify a God. If God is ever knowing, the mind is open to any grander potential and probability. Acts like a God. That is the grander truth. Act like a God. Not these jokes which we are doing. When sometimes I'm telling Sheila, I'm seeing people doing jokes. And Sheila is like, oh, what are we going to do now? I'm seeing people, I tell Sheila, hey, Sheila, people are dead. They are not in slumber, they are not in a coma, they are dead. The same way God told them, if you partake of this tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall surely die. They are dead. Because we are full of jokes. We are not serious. Let me tell you, that first day you met your loved one, the first day you fall in love, you felt in love. Let me tell you, the same way, like you want to be with that person, is the same way you are supposed to be seeking God and be with God. The first day you fall in love with your first girlfriend, that is the same kind of love you are supposed to be. Like you don't want to leave them, like you want to be with God. You don't want, even if you go to the toilet, I want to go with God. We do not love God, people. We have agendas. Even us, even me, have agendas. And sometimes they are unconsciously. Unconsciously. Like, oh, me, I just want, I have, even having that agenda of, even having some thought of like, I want to become one with God. I'm journeying back to experience God. That is already an agenda. It is already an agenda. You are not supposed to journey back to God. You can't journey to where you already are. You're just supposed to be still and know. This game does not need dramas. The problem why everything is hard to ask is because we have dramas. We want to put systems even to God. And systems are put in places where shit can go wrong. That's why there are places which needs systems, not God. God does not have a system. God is very simple. If people knew, if it takes you to be a bushman, not even that, to be in the earliest stone age and living, walking naked, running around like animals, it takes only that to know God. Does not take knowing a lot of all this what we are talking. It takes that primitive, taking knowing nothing, just being there. There's no process. There is no process. Enlightenment itself is not a process because everyone is enlightened. We just need to remember, to come to the realization that we are. And it becomes that we are in the state of completeness. You just have to wake up, realize that you are, and you become that. My walk has been easy because for me, I told you, number one, I had not even a single agenda. My agenda was, God, you have to show up. If you don't show up, man, I will look for you wherever you are. And when I get you, I will lock you. No matter how where you stay, you get to stay there until I say you leave. Because I was tired. And when immediately when I knew that when I knew actually I had some capabilities, and I started telling people jokingly, I was not we started a group just last year. That last year is all those years, 12 years. Last year is when I started a group. Now reaching, talking, being with people together. But all those years I was alone. And when I knew that I was having capabilities, I was just practicing with them. I was first I in the spiritual walk now. I read the thing about the power of mind, words, and this and that, and I said, if I could, I have capabilities. Let me practice this. Let me use my thought power. See how it does. And it was just that. It is a stupid thing. People, you will surprise people, but for me, it's stupid things. They're stupid things. Things like you can do these things you do, then people see their magic and miracles. They're just stupid things. We are dumb. Because that day, and for me, when I meant today I'm going to switch off the lights. Lights will be switched off. That is the agreement I made with God. That day, that day, the presence of God came. This is what I decree, and it shall be so. Without delay. When I call upon you, you show up on time. People say it is blasphemy. This is what when the presence of God fell on me, I proclaimed it, and it shall be so. When I call you, you show up on time. People say it's blasphemy. And then I start with that. Then when I went that day, I went and I said, today lights are going to go off. And guess what? I said off everything, and it was off until the whole wiring of the whole, because it was my first day, the whole wiring of the bedroom burnt out. It has to be An electrician had to come from the following day to do wiring again. I put it off plus off everything plus the wiring. That it was it's what happened. And these things, let me tell you, the secret to these things, they are not, these capabilities are not things that you can go around and start telling people that you have powers. Let me tell you what. When someone, so it can, when most of the times when you go and tell people, I can levitate this. Trust me, they will tell you levitate and it will not levitate. You don't know people. Me, I know. When I tell you I know. That's why even if anyone dares me sometimes, you do this, or do this, I'll just laugh. I'll tell them, no, okay, I can't do that. And when I don't want to show anyone, I am seated alone and look at a book and see in my mind's eye that this book is floating. It does so. It does so. There is no word, there is no prayer, there is no chanting, there is no position to sit, there is no breathing exercise. Just seeing that as floating. And it becomes that. My son has done that. My son has done that. My son has done that. I have done that in front of my son, and I told him, focus. Focus on that pen. Focus on this pen. See it floating, and it lifted. 2 minutes. My son did it. 2 minutes. People are seeing as miracle. They are stupid things. We're above this. Levitation, last time I was saying, things of, we levitate, we teleport. We are above that because God is above that. So for me, I always say I am above that. That's why I say these are things, primitive things, levitating, teleportation, and this and that. Because when I'm in the pure state of mind, I can do anything. The other time, it was just jokingly. Let me tell you, there is a guy here. He's in this meeting right now. He's called Mwangi Wagikoni. This guy, I met him in another group. It's called Self Healers Group. When I met him there, they were talking about things or this, and I was telling them, for me, wherever you are, I can come. Wherever you are, I can come. That group has got 230 something people. And people are you sure? Like this. And some said, okay, if for real you think you're a magician, come to me today. And I was telling people, listen, when someone tells me, I tell them, no, you are not ready. Because when I show up there, you will freak out. Trust me on this. And they took that it was an escape game. They took it to be an escape game. Then one person, one guy, this guy is called Mwangi Wagikonyo. He is here in this meeting. He told me, listen, come. He told me, listen, come. And he took a chair and he took a picture. He sent it to private on my WhatsApp. And this is your chair. Come, I shall be waiting for you 10 o'clock. He's in Limuru and Mombasa. And I was not there 10 o'clock. And he waited, and he waited, and he waited. Suddenly, I was there. In my energy body, the pure essence of who I am. I was telling Sheila, I remember The reason why I can do healings, even if I'm having sex, I can heal someone. Let me tell you. Just give me a call. I was telling Sheila this and she was laughing. I was telling Sheila, when I'm having sex, someone is dying, give me a call. Let me speak something. See what happens while I'm doing sex. I was telling Sheila it's because I'm remembering things of past lives. When I appeared to this guy called Moigikonyo, he saw me. In my body, the way I was, with my wisdom, with my white hair. And when I appeared to him, he was passing through some situation and I gave him advice. Not me, Salim, me. It was not me. It was the higher me. I appeared to him. And it was not, there was no ritual involved. There was no chanting. There was no calling. It's just getting in the present moment and seeing myself there. Period. 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 Lying on my bed and seeing myself there at that chair which he gave me. Period. That is the power of your mind. The craziest one is the one which I did and I said I'm not going to do this because this one is going to freak people, you can get killed. And I did it. I was doing it like a trial. It was not my intention. And I said, let me do this. And it was that. And it is called bilocating. Bilocating, you don't go by your physical body, by your energy body. You bilocate by your body. Like I am here, I bilocate to Nigeria, to Aba, I'm there. And this is me in physical. This is what I did. Like I went with someone at the gate and I went to the shop. They waited for me at the gate. There's one gate. They waited for me at the gate. And when from the shop, I just did that just by thought. I was testing it by thought that I am inside the house and I was there. And I called this person, hey, where are you? I'm outside. I am inside. I did that to someone, a member of this group, who is in this group. By thought and by the knowing. By being that, knowing that I am impossible. Let me tell you one thing. This is a promise I've kept myself. Before this year ends, there's no wall is going to stop me. Trust me on this. I want to do it and I want to show people a video. I will pass through walls. This one. Last 1 month ago, I wanted to tell Sheila something. I wanted to tell Sheila, watch this space. Watch this space. Because it will be in the news headlines. The shit which I'm going to do is going to be in the news headlines nationally. Yeah. This thing I wanted to tell Sheila, like a month ago or 1.5, every time I want to tell Sheila, I forget. Hey Sheila, I wanted to tell Sheila, watch this space, watch this space. I'm going to do a stunt here. All television stations are going to be there. Yeah. Let me tell you one thing. There is plenty of God. He's overflowing in abundance. If you want to see God, remove dramas. Remove all your dramas. Remove all your procedures. Forget about what you have been told of what God is, because immediately there is a definition and description of what God is that is not God. People, listen to me. Forget about what you have been taught by anyone what God is. Seek God. Just dump. If you have a done or a waste bin, everything of what you have been taught about God is, even in your religions, even by what Jesus didn't tell anyone about what God is. He said, "What of what I this is," and this is why I like this guy called Jesus. And for people, they will say this was a created character. He never existed. This was, for me, it is not either he existed or not. For me, I am after what he taught. I am after the path that he walked. It could be a movie, but for me, it's that lesson in that movie. To be like that actor in that movie. For me, either he existed or not, I don't give a fuck. If he existed or not, for me, his teachings is what I'm following. And Jesus never taught people of who God is. He just said, "What I do is of my Father. Seek ye first the kingdom of God." Jesus only taught about seeking the kingdom. Jesus never defined God in any sentence. Jesus never defined God. I'm telling you, in the lost gospel of Judas, this is what he tells the disciples. You 12 people and your generations to come and to come shall never know who I am and whence I cometh from. He was meaning the Christ. Whom I am. He meant that the generation, since that time of the disciples, to other generations up to now, they will never know. No one will never know where God comes from, where God is. The higher you go, you experience God. Because He's infinite, you have to go and go and go until you can no longer stop going, but going on. No one knows where God resides, where that this is the home of God, this is where God comes from. Nobody knows, even the angelic beings, the highest. They never say. Their channels, they are very clear. Themselves, to themselves, God is a mystery. If highest angelic beings of highest densities and dimensions, they channel that to us, like beings of sixth density, they say clearly, humanity, to us, God is still a mystery. And a primitive race of third density, they have given final definition of what God is. This is how sick we are. May we get better soon, because we are under life support. To them, God is a mystery. To them, those higher density beings and higher dimensional beings, to them, God is a mystery. Because they are higher dimensional beings and higher density beings. Higher density beings are the ones we can perceive outward. Extraterrestrials, I don't know this word, what kind of is extraterrestrials. I have people here that are teaching me English. But there we have people here. You are not alone, guys. There are people here. group members. We seated with them, they're listening to this, all what we are sharing. What we call as aliens, most of them, the negative and the positive. Fourth, fifth, sixth densities, they're the ones we can perceive. We can move out of this planet to other planets or other planes, what they call other galaxies. Fourth, fifth densities, they can come here and we say they are aliens. These are the benevolent aliens. These are negative aliens. We can see them. Let me tell you about the mysteries of the dimensional higher beings. They are not outside there. People, they are not outside there. They will not come with spacecrafts. They do not need spacecrafts. They can get here. They can get there. They are everywhere like air. Higher angelic beings of higher dimensions, you can only experience them from within, people. Within. When you are told that you have 3 angels at each and every instant, at every present moment, there are 3 angels around you. They are not higher density beings. They are higher dimensional beings. This is what demons are. The genies, they are dimensional. Genies are not aliens. Let me tell you. They cannot manifest physical body. They cannot. That's why they will need a vessel. Genies cannot manifest a physical body. They cannot. So negative high dimensional beings, how do you attract them? Be negative. If you are working with negative emotional energies, you want to attract higher positive dimensional beings within. You attract the same garbage, demons. There is a church, my place. Every Friday night, today they are removing demons on people, and Sunday. Every day, and that day I asked them, you guys, these demons which you are casting out, are they waiting for you outside the door? Then when you go out, they possess you. Then next Sunday they are removed. When you are at church, when you get out, they possess you again. And I told them, wake up, stop your foolishness. I told them the truth. It pained them. Okay, it was rude. After that, I knew it was rude. But doesn't the kingdom of God suffer with violence? I'm just asking. I didn't say it should be violence. I'm just asking. When people are too dumb, to an extent that when you tell them politely, they cannot listen to you. Is it wrong to trigger them emotionally? Tell them something that it will pain them until they think about that perspective they have. That is the state of affairs, how it is. We have to seek God in truth, people. In truth and spirit. In love and of who you are, because you are spirit. That's how you seek God. Seeking God because of worship and sonship. Seeking that divine union. Not expecting this or expecting that. Because you are one with everything. you lack nothing. Seeking God, like it's a hobby. I'm seeking God because it's just a hobby. It has nothing special. Making it a hobby, like it is a hobby. This one is a hobby. I'm just it's entertainment. I feel happy when I'm seeking God. Period. Then you get to experience God. But seeking God because you have problems and you have your list of demands and this and that, you are not one with God when you go with a list of demands, because those things which you have gone, you are put on that list. The reason why you are in need with them is because you have separated with them. If they were one with you, you will not have the need of them. So if you have a need of a car, it's because you have separated from a car. And when you are needy, what will you be given? Being needy, poor and needy. But when you are in a state of oneness with God, the state of completeness, that lacks nothing, that pure presence, that has got no, even the sense of absence. That presence that lacks absence, any form of absence. You be that presence that has got no absence of anything. Let me tell you, the other time I said something, to experience something, you have to become that. Be that which you want to experience. You want to experience God? Be a God. It has no, people, it has no shortcut. This one has got no shortcut. It has no shortcut, it has no bargain. You want to experience God? You have to be a God. Be that which you want to experience. You want to experience love? Be love. Because when you love, you are experiencing that. People, when you want abundance, be abundance. Immediately you be in the state of without cars and mansions. You are experiencing fulfillment, which lacks nothing. This work is not easy. It is not easy. It is not an easy work. For many people will take this work lightly, taking it casually, like it's just a work that we are seeking God, a God who wants to be worshipped. You give God special time. I tell you, it is very wrong. For me, God has got no judgment. For me, I am human. I have got a physical mind. I say it is wrong to give God a special day and a special time to commune with Him. You are supposed to be one with God each and every present moment. I have told people this. Have this practice of involving the Spirit of God in everything. Be stupid. Let me tell you one thing. This thing I was taught by one old man. The company which I used to work at, I left there as a general manager. Before I became a general manager, there was this old man who was retiring from that position. And there was this one thing he used to remind me. He told me of all the things, be stupid. If you want to live this life, be stupid. Be stupid. If you want to live this life, to enjoy this life, be stupid. Be the one that who knows not. Be the stupid one. When I tell people involve the Spirit of God in everything, be stupid and do that like you are stupid. You are going to shit in the toilet. Call upon the Christ within you. Involve the Christ within you. Involve people. This is stupid things are the most powerful things. When you involve the Spirit of God in everything, you are getting out of the house, Christ within you, take forth. You are going to cook, be the one, Christ within me, be the one cooking. Let your love flow in this food. Let this food be the source of healing to whoever is going to eat. Involve the Spirit of God in everything. Do you know what happens when you involve the Spirit of God in every aspect? The Spirit of God takes charge, takes charge of your life, and it guides you every moment because you have invited it in your life. You have given your faith in it. You are involving it in everything. Therefore, it takes over your life. You find yourself some good things coming to you. You say it's luck. Today I'm luck. I found this and this. Today I'm luck. I went to this place. No, it is not of your own strength. It's because the Spirit of God has taken over your life, and is the one that which is taking you to the right places at the right time, meeting the right people and experiencing the right situations. It puts you into its alignment. Then yours will just be still and float in that bliss. Christ has taken over your life. People, it's not about confessing. Man does not need confession. This is lip services, talking. It's not about lip service. It's about seeking, having the hunger and the thirst of God. Because blessed are the hungry. Blessed are the hungry, for they shall be filled. We have to have that thirst that I want to experience God. This is not a joke. I'm telling people every time, even in the group, I always say, Bishop, sometimes I write in Swahili, you never understand. Sometimes I always say this, we have to seek for God. Si mchezo tunafanya hapa. Bishop, this one means we have to seek for God, not these jokes we are doing here. Calling and boasting around, we have a spiritual group, not these jokes. Immediately you start to seek God, He's seeking you. He's coming. That is how magnificent God is. The reason why I can experience things, I can experience crazy things, things which many people would think that they are mysteries, is because for me, I always tell Sheila, the number one priority for me Number one priority for me is seeking God. It's not my work, it's not my wife, it's not anything, it's seeking God. That's why Sheila could call me at any time in the afternoon. Where are you? I am at my original place, seated.
Anybody home? Queen Dr. Sheila. Anybody?
Kamau, we are on.
Yeah, Carol. Wewe peke yako ndio uko.
Si hata Salim ndo amepotea, si alikuwa anazungumza.
Yeah, Salim is missing. Hopefully the aliens didn't abduct him.
Like last week.
Yeah, it happened last week too, right?
Yeah.
Is that him or that's Sheila?
Yeah.
That is Sheila. Sheila, you woke?
Yeah.
Salim got abducted again, so I don't know what's going on at this hour. What time is it? It must be around 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's 2:38.
It's 2:38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about that time. A lot of energies that be going on around this time of the morning. So hopefully he make it back.
Let's hold on a bit.
But it's interesting what he was saying. Is most people are not, you know, are not in the quest of wanting to know or in genuine search. Um, you find that most people are just there because, or they are interested because it sounds interesting or it sounds like, they can gain something out of it. Uh, and that's why most of the time we lack, because either we approach something with uh, the thoughts that we know it, or we already know, and so we are not even listening to know or to learn. We are listening to try and uh, prove the person who is talking or teaching that they are wrong. You know, or rather approaching it with doubt. You know, you find that a lot of people are just that. They're just in their space where, either they are not, seriously interested or genuinely interested, or they are just in search of, you know, their personal gain. What can they gain from this? Or they feel that, if they was able to be better than others, they are looking to be better than others. And that's why you find that they might show some interest. But again, in reality, the interest is not genuine. Um, Case in point, you can look at this particular group. It seems to be I think it's a lot of people uh, in the WhatsApp group, but like when we have these conversations, a lot of people are missing. And again, one thing I've learned about the spiritual journey is the need to be devoted, the devotion, the discipline. This is one thing that I admire about Sheila is the devotion and the discipline that you had ever since I met you. You was always devoted, always very disciplined, and always engaged. A lot of people are missing that, and it's sad because that's what is really needed uh, to kind of get to their balance that is needed uh, to be able to be in a good standing spiritually, or even all the other aspects of life. A lot of people don't. They want it the easy way. They want to find a way that is easy. A way that they don't have to do much. They don't have to do anything. But then again, is actually the opposite of that. For you to be in a position where you have not to know quite a lot before you can get to know, or before something can get easy. You're back, brother Salim. Brother
I'm
Salim.
back. Let me tell you one thing. Can you hear me?
Hold on, Senior. Hold on. Hold on. Kamal was saying
Yes.
something. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, I can finish up real quick. I was saying that a lot of people are
No,
not
no.
devoted. They're not disciplined enough to be able to do what it takes, to be able to follow up, to be able to be consistent. And that's where you see that we are not having uh, the 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 people are not, they are showing interest just again for what Brother Salim was saying, for their own agenda, for whatever they can gain. They want to be better than. They want to have something that they can use against whatever, others, whatever. And that's the wrong approach that you see that is causing a lot of people to miss the point or not to get to the level where, like what Brother Salim is telling us here, that he is at, and himself, he tell you he meditated for 8 years without missing a single day. That's the type of devotion that is required to be able to call on God and for Him to show up, or her or it to show up every time you call, because you are devoted, because you are disciplined. So again, they'll have to, or God, and I don't want to say have to or is necessary, but it kind of reciprocates that. Your discipline, your devotion. The same thing with him. If you show devotion, you show discipline, that's the same thing that gonna come out of the universe, or gonna come out of God. But again, people think that, I don't know, they have the idea that you just, you know, don't have to do much and expect a whole lot. And it really doesn't work that way. But go ahead, Brother Salim.
Can I say something, and then he can
Sheila, just speak, Sheila. Don't worry.
after
Sheila,
that.
the floor is yours. Today,
So
you are not going to disconnect me because they had started, but today no connection.
so I think Kamal, when you're saying about the place of consistency and the discipline of that, when you understand, I think for me, what helps me to keep at it is that I remind myself that I haven't begun. When you think of the fullness of who God is and what God is, I keep on telling myself I've not begun. When you're listening to like the sharings that, or the when you go onto YouTube and you listen to these guys, I mean, guys have been woke, they have been conscious from the 80s, right? We're looking at people who have done sharing from the 70s, from the 80s. from the 90s. I mean, by the time you're catching up in the, in the 2000, the 2020s, you realize that you are seriously behind. So the fact that you understand and you know that no matter what it is that you know, you are nowhere near. I mean, you look at them and you're almost like, you want to ask yourself, Sasa, sure. And if you're not careful, by the way, you can also get so disheartened or so discouraged, because then it's like somebody who's hungry. If you're not going to be able to quiet yourself down, to stabilize yourself, to really just speak to your innermost being and tell yourself that it's not late, and that now that the journey has started for you now, then what you need to do is to just wake up and ensure that you can show up. You can show up in your own private space. You can show up in the public places like now, that which we are doing. You can show up because you know that, look, it doesn't matter what it is that you know. You haven't started. You haven't gotten there yet. So that when you think like that, then that push towards consistency, push towards being relevant. And when I say relevant, it's not relevant because you want to be seen like, that you are. No, no, no. But relevant in knowing that as much as it is within your ability, you're doing what it is that you need to do to become the person that you're supposed to be spiritually, to be at the place that you need to be spiritually. As in now, the easiest thing that I have not been able to break it down to is just to set an intention that every day, I must learn something new. Every day, I must learn something. Whatever that will be, I will not limit it. Sometimes I might be the one that will be the stimulus or the catalyst towards it, you know. But to be open enough to say, okay, so I'm part of this. I'm part of this discussion, or I'm part of this work, and because I'm part of this work, then I would really desire that divine intelligence, source energy, the spirit of God would be able to understand that whatever it is that I need to know in this season, as 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 much as it is not, it is not, or it is a place that you think you know, but as much as you know, you understand that you really don't know anything. So I put a demand that there has to be some form of learning. There has to be some form of engaging along a path that you do not know. Now, whether it is an emphasis of what you know, whether it is a comeback of what you know, whether it is a revelation of what you don't and taking you into a path that you don't, the key issue or the main issue is having a drive that goes beyond that which is natural, that which you know, that which you have the ability to absorb, because at the core of it is a desire to know this God more and more and more and more. So when you look at it from that standpoint, it becomes easier for you to wake up. It becomes easier for you to show up. It becomes easier for you to take up space, that you can take up space and now become relevant. Yeah, relevant to the people that probably didn't know you, but now, because of consciousness, they know you. And not only just knowing here, but now you can be able to have, engagement into their own parts in their lives by just staying true to that which you are. Because then by so doing, you are opened up to another level of existence that if we are not ready for, we will not be able to capture, neither will we be able to connect with. So the discipline comes for me with that, knowing that it doesn't matter how much I have arrived. It doesn't matter how much I achieve. whatever I have or known or what I know or what I understand is but a drop in the ocean, a drop in the ocean of what this eternal God is, for what it is that I know, and what it is that the when you think of the divine enablement that you need to be able to access in the spiritual realm would require of us, so that we can be able to be all that we need to be as girls in our Father's house, because that's who we are, or rather children in our Father's house, because now we have male and female created he them. Yeah. So for me, Kamau, that is what makes me, that's what makes me just keep on showing up. And these are things that we talk about even with Salim. And I tell him, when you look back, you're like, what? All the money gone. Not only the money gone, but oh my God, where have you been? What are you able to do to keep on trying to compress learning for yourself? How are you going to keep on bridging the gap for ignorance and truth or understanding? How are you going to bridge that gap every day? So for me, the thing is just to desire honestly, be fully persuaded, but most importantly and most significantly, being able to awaken to the reality that there is a God that exists, that we have barely scratched. When that dawns into your spirit and your inner being, I will tell you, these things that we do will not be a drag, but it will be an excitement to you, to me, to anybody else, because then they're given access to God or to insight or revelation or knowledge and understanding by virtue of the fact that you were willing to bite the bullet to pay the price for land. So me, that's my secret. Back to you, or whoever would like to share, they can say.
Yes, I'm back again. It got disconnected normally. No, let me tell you, let me tell you some experience. I shared for the first time in my 12 years, I shared today with Sheila. This experience was a crazy experience. My journey has been interesting, full of crazy shit. So this day, like in the morning, that moment you are waking up from bed, me, I have no, it's not my practice. Like when I wake up, I go and open the curtain and look outside. Never. It has never been my thing. Like when I wake up, I go open the curtain, start looking outside. No. But that day, this is what happened. When I woke up, it was like it was like, I don't know. It is like someone told me, hey, open the curtain and look outside. But actually, it was not someone, because there was no voice, there was nothing. I found myself opening, for the first time I opened the curtain to see what is outside. And I went directly to look at the skies. And the skies were gray, were brownish cream. Let's say they were cream in color. It was cream. The sky from blue to cream, the whole sky. And on that sky, there were symbols, there were patterns, there were symbols, patterns, mixture of everything. My bedroom is always at the rear end of the house. I was not surprised, but I was like, what is this? But not in a surprised state. But what is this? Then there was someone asked me, what are you? No, actually, they did. I was not asked there, because I looked at the sky. I looked at the sky. After looking at the sky, seeing the patterns, I stayed there like for some minutes. Someone was watching me. Then I went and sat back on the bed. And then I said, let me go to the front, to the balcony. When I went to the balcony in front and looked at the skies, all the sky was same color with patterns, symbols, numbers. And I was there. Then someone who was watching me came and asked me, why have you woken up with the sky? Like you just woke up and you are just watching at the sky. Someone asks you that. And what I'm seeing in the sky, now I was just like, this is real. I am sober. To an extent, someone is talking with me here. And they asked me, what is interesting you in the sky, on the sky? Then I told them, the skies looks interesting today, but I wanted some confirmation from this person. I asked them, what do you see in the sky? And they told me clouds. And I was telling them, but the color seems different today. Not going deep. Just wanting, sometimes you have to weigh yourself. Are you going crazy? Is it normal? What is this? So you have to go step by step, so that when it reaches that stage of people tying ropes on your hands, it takes some time, not just immediately people jump on you. So I wanted confirmation, and I told them, but the colors of the skies today look different. They told me, no, how different? And the skies are always blue. And I said, wow. I stayed there, and I was seeing these patterns to be very sure, and I like taking my head around, and everywhere patterns and numbers. Patterns and numbers. That was a mystery, and it became a secret. Today is the first time I'm revealing it. At first I told Sheila, hey, there is something happened to me. I have kept quiet because people, that day if I told people, they will have tied ropes on me saying I'm mad. Saying I'm mad. So there are things, even me myself, those symbols I can see them, but I don't know the meaning up to now. Right now, in my mind, I know, I see the symbols, I can draw them, I can draw everything. But I still, I haven't reached that stage or the vibration of translating that or something like that. So these are the mysteries, people. When God says, be still and know that I'm God, and I shall reveal to you the mysteries of creation, the mysteries of the universe. These are the mysteries. And these are the goodies of the kingdom. Goodies of the kingdom are not things of the physical material. If there is a primitive density, this one. If there is a primitive density in the universe, let me tell you one thing. It is this one, the third density. The first density is the density of elements and minerals. And let me tell you one thing about elements and minerals. They are all intelligent. All intelligent. Water, fire, all intelligent. To an extent that something of first density like water, it gives life. Everywhere they say water is life. When you come to the second density, they're intelligent and they communicate telepathically. When you come to the third density, everything becomes zombified. There's no telepathic. You can never give life. You can do nothing. A robot can be useful. Third density is a slumber density of slumber. Immediately you jump to the third density, the fourth density, you start communicating telepathically. Ask yourself, what is this calculation are they adding? First density, second density, all intelligent. Then when you come to the third density, zap down the drain. Everything becomes zombified. Immediately you jump this density, you go back to the normal. This is what happens in third density. This density, if you joke around, you sleep dead. You sleep dead. So we are here to remember everything. And I was telling Sheila that I'm remembering things. All what I'm doing, all these things of healing are not things that which were not part of me. They are part of my past lives. And it seems that one, maybe I could heal people like miraculously. Maybe, I don't know. What if I'm the reincarnate of Jesus? I'm just saying I'm not the one. I don't want people to start saying this and that. What if I'm remembering my past like that one? Because this is the grander truth which I know, that anything that anyone did not come with it from their mother's womb. Anything. If anything, something gets someone after they have been born, anything, trust me, I can reverse it to its original state, to that state which that person was passing the gates of life. Anything, I'm telling you, even if someone was walking and they had polio, I can strengthen those things to be the same way, returning that DNA position of that person to that day. But anything which you're born from your mother's womb with, it cannot be reversed. Let me tell you. And this is the scams people are being pasted on their face. Imagine someone is praying to someone who was born blind. People, do not be deceived. I told Sheila, these things need spiritual common sense. Nothing much. When someone comes from their mother's womb blind, it's part of the contract. People, you cannot pray to that to be reversed. If someone was prayed over and they started seeing, it's only the man who Jesus prayed for, but nobody can come. Those who are born deaf, it is that. Those who are born crippled, it is that soul contract. It comes in. With that contract that I want to explain, to experience blindness, you come in. Coming out of your mother blind, no one can reverse it. No matter how many messiahs come here, they cannot reverse it. But only that which can be reversed is that which gets you after you have come from the gates of life after you come from your mother's womb. So the work is not easy, people. Eh? It's not easy, but it is interesting. I like it that it is interesting. It's not easy because we are struggling. Let me tell you, myself, I'm struggling. Like, who have seen that the tallest coconut tree, the way it swings because of wind, like that. All this which I am devoted to meditating every day, I'm doing it every day. Yesterday I did it, even after here I will do it again up to maybe 7 o'clock. But let me tell you, all is struggling. This work is hard. This work is hard. It is very, very hard. And we have no time left. We have no time left. The energies are increasing and becoming intense. I told you guys, it is not God wherever is seated pushing and pulling buttons. There are people in charge of this assignment. They are the ones who are pulling and pushing. And everything is connected to everything. Without this planet shifting, this galaxy has got 260 billion planets. Without this planet shifting, we are holding hostage. We are holding hostage other planets to ascend. Those who are fourth density, they cannot move. Therefore, it depends. This is what they say in their channelings. To us, God is a mystery. We also have our own struggles in this path of seeking God. These highest density beings, and they are the ones who are in charge here. To them, they have their own struggles. Let me tell you, when they wake up on the wrong side of the bed, if it's game over, it's game over. I'm telling the truth. This is the grander truth which you have to know. When you're told that energies are intense, they are not there. What is projecting energies here? And that's the higher beings. Like 2020, the month of December, the whole planet, one planet, not there's one planet. All I can say is the star system. They were collectively sending energies of light. This is what they are doing right now. They are the energies which they are projecting. They are what are called accelerating energies. That's why I say timelines have already been drawn. The wheat and the chaff have already been separated. We are just waiting for the formality. They have been separated. You cannot save anyone. Listen to me. You cannot save anyone. This is what accelerating energies does. They accelerate you. To where? To where your energy and vibration is. Yes, Bishop.
Yeah, I'm online. I've been listening. Yeah. I wanted to thank you so much first of all, Kamar, Sheila. That was quite eye opening, and I think something we all said that really touched me. The goal of everything is to experience God in his purest form. Not just for the fun of experiencing God, but just like I always believe, the more in experiencing God, we are actually learning how it feels like to be God. Because he becomes our textbook. He becomes like the book we look into. Like in knowing him, we're realizing ourselves. In knowing him, we are coming to a place of recollection and remembrance. And we are being reminded of who we are. Because we are beings of light. And God is pure, undiluted light. So is you see, there's one thing the Lord is helping us to wrap our mind about the fact that until we come to this point where we accept that everything in us that is pure and perfect is God. Everything. In Him we live and move and have our being. And also in us He lives and moves and have our being. I just feel like we're the live streaming of Jehovah, the live streaming of the light. You understand? I'm just I'm just so blessed, like so blessed. Thank you, Apostle Salim. Like, I don't know, I'm always just grateful. Like, every time I hear these things, it stirs something in me. It stirs something in me. You understand? It stirs something in me. We must take our eyes away from our imperfections and weaknesses and focus on the perfection that is within us. This glorious light within us. So thank you very much. I just feel I should just chip that in. Yeah.
My brother, old bishop, is a birthday boy. He's he's growing old. Not he's growing old by mind, but you remain young. You have to remain young in body. Like you have to walk with the knowing that you are. It reaches a point where you can now reverse back the aging. That from now, you proclaim, from now, I'm aging in a reverse state, in a reverse mode. I've reached 45, Sheila. I have reached 50. From now, next year, how old are you now? I am 49. This year you are 50, you are 49. The other year, how old are you now? I am 48. Sheila, it becomes that. Your cells of your body have been waiting. Cells of the body of humanity have been waiting for the owner to wake up and speak to them. For when you call upon the Christ within, when you feel chills in your body, let me tell you, they are your cells, individual cells vibrating. When you are doing meditation and you feel chills in your body or you feel sensations in your body, they are not sensations, they are your cells, individual cells celebrating, and you feel the vibrations of their celebrating. That this dumb ass has finally woken up. And then when you tell them, go to this part of the body and perform healing, go here and replace everything to its original state, they rush there like no one's business, and healing occurs. This is not a hearsay. I have people talking and speaking to things in their bodies. I was telling, I don't know, I told you guys, or it was Sheila alone, about someone. There is someone who can regulate. Listen, there is someone is in our group, this group, and when he came, He was in a coma. He was not in slumber. He was in a coma because he knew nothing. Is that one you hold a pen and hold their hands and start teaching them. That is how dumb they were. But to an extent, they can regulate temperatures of their environment. When they take you to their house, this is not a joke. It is something I have experienced, and I think I told Sheila. And I was shocked. And this is what they told me. It is very hot in Mombasa. Come and I show you some air conditioning. You think you are the only magician around. Come. And I went. And the person sat down. And he was in a relaxed state. He just told me, just relax, sit there. He did not close the eyes, did nothing. He was there smiling. And the temperature began to drop. Oh my God, this world is something else. Temperature started to drop. And the house became cold. Even the tiles and the floors became cold, like an AC is blowing somewhere. And it became cold. When you took the hand out of the window, you could feel the hotness. There's no sun there, but you feel the temperatures of outside. You feel the hotness. The same way you come out of a cold place, you go to a hot place. The way you feel. When the person told me, just put your hand outside, feel the difference. And it was that. And they were laughing at me like, haha, you are the one, you are the superstar. Now you know that it is very easy to become number one, but it is very hard to maintain that number. That is the works needed. That is the works needed for everyone. That is what is expected from everyone. All this, whatever we are experiencing, they're dramas. By the way, these guys and the guys whom I'm working with, and they have done things. They can communicate even with their pets and this and that. To them, to another person, they will see that like it's a miracle, something mysterious. To them, when you ask them what is that, they'll tell you, "Hii ni ujinga." Like it is, if someone experiences something, they will tell you, "Hii kumbe hii yote ni ujinga." More than 7 people have told me that. People, let me tell you, that day you'll experience, you can do a small trick of shit. You will go around telling people everything ni ujinga. The things which you think they are miraculous, like this and this, they are wonders. They will tell you, hey, hizi vitu ni ujinga. These things ni ujinga tu. We think they're complicated, but ni ujinga tu pyote. Because when they can do it first time and they do it, and they can do it now and then, even if someone tells them do it, they do it there. They will tell you this one. Because if you ask them, how do you do it? They will tell you, I do nothing. I do nothing. I just become that. Period. When you ask this person, how does the room become clean? This is what they say. I just vision the room becoming 16 degrees Celsius and be there rejoicing on that temperature, and it becomes that. Who knew Jinga? And the people, and how people are struggling. That is the first thing the person told me. Who knew Jinga? And the people are struggling these things, meditating up and down, up and down, up and down. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and there's nothing to do. There is nothing to do. This is what that the person told me. There is nothing to do. Nothing. 7 people have told me so. And people are experiencing that, and to an extent they are coming to ask you, so what is the purpose of meditation? Someone asked me, what is the purpose of meditation if I can do all these things? And the truth is that it has no purpose. Because meditation is just a state of being one with the infinite creator. If someone can just get connected and do funny tricks until they realize and come to ask me what is the purpose of meditation, if I can move things, I can switch off electronics, I can do this and that, what is the way? The answer is the purpose of meditation, because it means you are aligned and connected, period. When you experience these things, you will see that, like me, these were late years. And for me, I was that dumb guy. Eh? There's that type of dumb seeker who just seeks. It was me. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just seeking like that. I was just going like that, seeking, eyes closed, going, not expecting anything. I don't know about levitation and astral traveling. Nothing. It's not about that. I'm just seeking. And when another time I went to there's a Facebook group, and I was telling them it is called Soul Connection from Europe. I was put an admin there, and people were busy. And when people were there, all what people are discussing there is just how can you do astral traveling, how to do this and that, how to do this and that. And I was like, wow, people are dumb. Like they're asking for what? These things. They're asking for these things. They are dumb. But that day, they will experience this. They won't be even seeking this thing. They become that when that thing is needed. Like you want to go to bed and you are just feeling too dizzy to switch the TV, you switch it off. You go. With your mind, you switch all the lights. While you are moving the lights, the way you are moving, the darkness is following you behind to your bedroom. You do that by mind. There are not things that I want this. How do you experience that? How do you do this? How do you do that? No. When you see God, you experience everything. When you become one with God, what belongs to the Father will automatically belongs to you. It is your right. The only thing which you can own or you can have right over it is one thing in this world. It is called inheritance. That is the only thing you can claim, having right to that inheritance. But everything you have to work for. So when you just seek this one Father, become one with the Father, let me tell you, the inheritance is automatical. What belongs to the Father belongs to you. And on that note, I'd like to appreciate you guys. For me, I can talk. I don't want to bore you guys. I can talk until 8 o'clock in the morning. If there are these things, we can talk, continue talking. But I'd like to appreciate you guys for your time. By the way, you are not here by mistake. You are not here by mistake up to this time listening to me. Whatever I have spoken, you were meant to hear that. How you are going to consume it is up to you. What resonates with you, take it, let it help you. If there is anything which did not resonate with you, anything, drop it like it's hot and forget that it came across your path. Yes, Sister Sheila, Kamau, and Carol.
Yes, brother. We're here.
We are closing down now. I don't want Sheila tomorrow to miss the door going out and start hitting walls, because she will be knocking down walls like
She's gonna go through the walls tomorrow. She's gonna
yeah,
be
she will
the
go through.
one. Yeah.
For me now, I can't sleep. If I do a meditation, it's already morning, and then but most of all, we have spoken, we are teaching one another. You just keep pushing on. Come on, you got to push on like that. Push, push, push.
Absolutely, it's necessary.
Because I'm telling you, this year you'll just tell us. It will never be the same like it was before. The story is like you'll change it, like it's a new story. You'll write another story, not that story which you had. Just keep pushing. Sheila.
Absolutely, it's already changing. I can already tell.
Yeah, everything is going to be well, bro. And actually, good things, more things to come. I don't want to tell you any, nowadays I'm telling Sheila, I'm not telling anyone anything. Because I did a mistake previously. Many people in our group, I will tell them things and they will then like now they have reached. Many people, I told people like I tell people, hey, listen, be prepared. You are moving, you are doing this, you are moving to a new place, be this and that. And hey, they thought that is now. Now they have found the totality of God. Like you cannot tell them anything. They have now experienced the totality of God. They cannot do this. So I don't want people to entertain people's ego. Me, I can see good things, but I'll tell you when you are in the right path, I just tell you are in the right path. Wait, you buy a big Mac pen to write a new story. And you shall name this story this is the title. When you want to write about anything, come out. Write. You write story of your life. You'll need to write it, even if it's an article.
Okay.
And you call it 3 sides to my story. And you will have 3 sides to write.
Okay.
3 sides to my story. And you will have 3 sides to write. You will have sides to write. Kamau. 3 magnificent stories. Sides of one story, you will write them. And they will know it is a journey. So for me, I wish you well. I'm always sending you love and light. And wishing you good health. And all is well. Yes. Sheila, she slept. Yes, come out.
Yeah, I was saying, I also appreciate you, brother, and I wish you well. Sending you love and light. lot. Still learning from you, so I'm thankful for that.
Sheila is asleep. Definitely. Carol, mimi I like Carol because Carol will never sleep. No matter how you sing the lullaby to her.
No,
Not
she's
like
always
Sheila.
up.
She's always alert, not like
Not asleep.
Sheila.
I'm not asleep. Hey, wait. I was talking and
She's
I'm saying
up.
I'm not. Wait, I'm asleep. I heard you. Wait. Hmm. Oh, you're
I
saying,
told you she's
what were
gonna
you
go
saying?
through the door. She's up.
Imagine I was talking, but my mouth is on that side, the phone is on this other side. And then I'm realizing, why is he saying that? And then I'm like, yeah, you haven't removed the phone on mute. Yes, Inya, you were saying something.
No, I was just saying that it is a journey. I was just encouraging a Kamau because things are coming on his way. Just encouraging him that no matter what comes on the way, they're just things. It's just the level of vibration. There should not be like define who he is. He should be what he is. You see, no matter what comes, no matter how high he gets elevated, he should not be overwhelmed. They're just experiences, and he should just be pushing on. These are nothing. They are not the material things. Is nothing. It's just the state of vibration. So you should just be having awareness that it is the state of my vibration. This is the outcome, and for him to be a blessing, I'll say.
And I think the
And
beauty about it is that for Kamau, may I just say, there are people who you say they deserve some things, yeah, because if there's anything that Kamau is that he's such a giver. People who pour out onto other people who are always being a channel unto others. You can't be a pipeline and not always have something that you can be able to channel to other people. So for me, and knowing where Kamau has come from. By the way, Kamau, I celebrate you. I I am so blessed, and I bless God for you. You talk about people and how consistent they are and how they keep on treading and how we keep on pressing on. If there's anybody who's also that, it is you. So to be able to know that now, as the season unfolds and as we get to the next level, that, yeah, if there's ever a race that you will run, is that one. And I know you will be true. I think sometimes we go through some things just to get a reminder, of how necessary. When you're talking about how consistently I can be, I think some of those things are the kind of reminders that come our way to just tell us why it's so necessary to stay true to the call of pursuit. Because you don't want to get um off the bandwagon of consciousness. You don't want to get off the bandwagon of just pursuing God. You do not want to get off the bandwagon of like really getting into a higher level of just knowing who you are, because that's key. The more self-aware you are, the more you are restored to who you are originally. The more you grow in knowledge, and the more you grow in self-esteem, the more you grow in your relationship with divinity, with spirituality, with consciousness. So every other thing that comes is just but an addition. But then that, as we keep on saying, we are not those things. We are not those things. So yeah, I would like to take this opportunity to really just commend you for being one who also pays the price. I know Carol also is like that. Carol can be so consistent. Yeah. Carol can be consistent sometimes. Even today, I was telling her, we were having a conversation. But there are those people that akishikilia anashikilia, anajua kufuata, even if it's just one step at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a
Let me tell you one thing. Sheila, let me tell you a story. Unajua last juzi I spoke to you. You know me, I am a spy. First, let me tell you a story of this man called Kamau. Kamau, you could read the energies the first day. Do you remember the first day you came with him? This guy
Yeah.
was broken. He was broken down, but as much as he was broken for me, after we finished, I called back Sheila and I said, Sheila, wow, this guy, poor him. If he really knew the light that he carries because of all the people I've met in my life, if there is the presence of light that I've felt, it is from this guy. And himself is broken down, but out of his brokenness, I felt the presence of light.
Mm.
I felt it, and I remember I told you, Sheila, immediately I called and said, wow, this guy is something else.
Mm.
Poor. And
Mm.
even the last week I told you, Sheila, I told you something. Sheila, me, I'm a spy. If I want to know where you are, I know where you are, what your vibrations are, what you are doing. Is the only thing is that there are some things I cannot do. But if I want to know everything about someone, I will know.
Yeah.
So the other is that this week or last week we spoke and I was telling you, hey Sheila, you know your sister is moving from here to here, is moving from this stage to this stage, moving from here to here. You remember? And
Yeah.
I told you I'm just there watching her. I'm just watching. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a spectator. So I'm that guy. I'm actually. There is a friend of mine who called me a police dog. He calls me a police dog. He say, "Hey, remove this. I want to find someone this and that." Yes, Sheila.
Yeah. Sorry, my glass of water was
Mm.
almost full. So sorry.
You want to go on bed with glasses of water and plates of chapatis. What do you expect?
No, you
So,
must have water. With all this talking that we talk, you must drink. Where?
so everyone is at the right path. Is doing good. Everyone is doing good. Sheila. Everyone is doing good.
Are we still
No matter.
recording?
No, I'm not recording. I've stopped.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
stopped
So
when I want to make stories. I stopped. Nowadays, that
yeah.
actually I and also I have to edit it. So
Yeah.
now it's not recording. It stopped. So what
And
I'm telling guys, yeah.
I think when we were sitting and talking about how we should begin to separate people